Hi everybody, I'm Jim Lowe and welcome to High Country Chronicles Knives and Gear. Today I present to you the FOBOS Tier 1 BC. Now if you've seen my Bear Lake video, you've already seen this knife, you've already seen me use this knife. Today what I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to present the knife to you, the knife specs, and then I'm going to do some maintenance on it. If you saw the Bear Lake video, you know that I banged it against granite about a dozen times, and subsequently I rolled the edge very slightly. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's very slightly rolled. And obviously, as you can see, the knife is extremely dirty. So I'm going to do some cleanup work on the finish and on the edge itself. So as I said before, I think the Tier 1 BC would make a great backpacking knife for those people that aren't into big knives. This knife meets my minimum backpacking blade length standard. It's lightweight and it's a knife that you can rely on. It's become known as the FOBOS Bushcraft knife, and that's mainly because it has this bow drill divot on either side. The BC though does not stand for Bushcraft. It actually stands for boot choil. The C on a FOBOS knife designates the fact that that knife has a choil, which obviously this knife does. The B stands for boot, and it refers to the size of the handle or the scales on the knife. And it simply means that it's smaller, thinner than your full-size FOBOS knife with full-size handle. The Tier 1 BC is made from CPM MagnaCut, which, if you know your steels, it's essentially a stainless super steel. You can think of it as maybe a stainless version of 3V, even though I know that's not technically correct. It was designed to make, to be a tougher stainless steel. So this knife is 11.2 inches long. The blade length is 5.85 inches long, and the cutting edge is 5.25 inches long. The blade is 1.5 inches high. The blade thickness is roughly 0.2 inches or 5 millimeters, and it weighs 9.5 ounces. It is cryogenically tempered to 61, 62 on the Rockwell scale, and the edge comes with a secondary bevel of 20 degrees. Now when you purchase this knife, you get Kydex sheath with a dangler, you get a tub of Wicked Wax, you get a bunch of swag, and you get something that no other knife company does. From what I've seen, you basically get a full-length brochure telling you about your knife. So this covers the warranty, it covers care and maintenance, it covers the heat treat, it covers the bevel shape and design, the edge angle. It even gives you advice on if you do your own sharpening. If you're going to use this for hard use, heavy impacts, they suggest sharpening the bevel to 22 degrees, medium use, 19.5 degrees, which is considered like a utility angle, and then light use, if you want it super sharp, they suggest sharpening it to 17 degrees. And then there's the contact information and all of that good stuff. They do have a warning on here not to reprofile the secondary edge bevel beyond 17 degrees. So yeah, if you get beyond 17 degrees, then it's going to be it's going to be a little thin for the work that this knife was meant to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to fix the edge. For that, I have this Benchmade Work Sharp EDC Sharpener. It's basically got a ceramic rod on one side and leather for stropping on the other. I use it to touch up my EDC blades all the time. It's also handy. This would be handy for backpacking if you want to keep something with you to touch up your knives. I typically don't, because I usually have a leather belt or a leather sheath on me, and I can strop on that. As I said, FOBOS knives now come with Wicked Wax, which is great for putting on the knife to actually protect it. You can also put it on leather sheaths. Now, the Tier 1 BC, as with most FOBOS, have a leather option. This has seen better days. This isn't the complete sheath. It also comes with scout straps, but I've removed the scout straps. I'm going to put on a ferro rod holder, and then I'll be done with it. The one thing that I would caution when you're using the Wicked Wax is to make sure that you wipe off the excess, or else you're going to get sort of this white streaking that I have here. But that said, it is great stuff. It will penetrate the leather right out of the tub. A lot of other similar products I've used, you kind of have to either heat the sheath up or heat the tub up to get it to saturate and penetrate the leather. That's not the case with this. It comes up to penetrating temperature, I guess, with your fingers, and you just rub it in and it works great. In addition to Wicked Wax, the company also makes something called Wicked Clean. And so when I was at Blade Show, they were giving away these free samples of Wicked Clean. A Wicked Clean is what you would use to clean your blade with. So that's what I'm going to do today. I am going to use the work sharp to bring the edge back, and then I'm going to use Wicked Clean to clean things off. So we'll see how things go. Hopefully you can see this edge. You can see it's pretty dirty. You can see very, very, very slight rolling. Shouldn't be a problem. So typically what I do with this is, and this is, if I remember correctly, this is actually at 20 degrees. So it's just a simple matter of setting this up and then just running the edge all the way down. And I typically do one side first and then the other. So with one pass, most of the, well, there's still a little bit of, there's still a little lip on there. So I'm just going to keep going. Actually, it feels pretty good. Most of the rolls are out there. The bigger one is still there, so I'm going to do a couple more passes. So I've taken about 50 passes on this little thing. The rolls came out at about 25 or 30, and I just did a couple more just to touch it up. I am not one of those guys that's going to sharpen a knife to a polished finish. That's not what I'm interested in. I just want to make sure it cuts. So let's see, we'll see if it needs any more work. Yeah, well, I don't know, it's cutting. Yeah, I could probably do some more work on it. Yeah, so I'm going to try a couple more passes with this, and if that doesn't seem to do the job, then I probably get out my real strop and strop it that way. But let's try a couple more passes with this. Catching the fingernail. Blah. I think that's me. Yeah, not super duper sharp, but I think that's good enough for what I do. Okay, let's get to cleaning. As you can see, it's fairly dirty. I haven't read the instructions on how to use this stuff. On the back it says Wicked Clean is a beeswax based cleaner and polish. It can be used with a clean rag or 4/0 steel wool to remove etching and medium to light debris. The mild abrasive will not scratch most surfaces, works with Damascus and other hardened steels. Manufactured by Wicked Industry. So I'm going to take a blue shop towel and dip it in this stuff. It seems like probably more than enough. Seems to clean up the edge pretty well. Look at that. Wow. Color me impressed. See if I can get that FOBOS logo back to normal. Oh yeah, look at that. Not bad. Doing a pretty good job so far. I'm not usually a guy that cleans his knives that much, to tell you the truth. My EDC knives, yeah, maybe, but my outdoor knives, nah. Turn this over, and you can see how dirty that is. Let me get another piece of rag. You know what? Let's clear this off. Get some more Wicked Clean. Maybe try to use a little less this time. Now, I am right-handed, so not as coordinated with my left hand. Yeah, look at that. That actually works really well. That's working really well. Look at that. That's pretty clean. And so lastly, I'll take some of this Wicked Wax, and let's see, what does it say on the back of the Wicked Wax? It says works on steel, wood, leather, and epoxy, 100% food safe, and all organic ingredients. And then it gives the website depetreforge.com/shop. Now this is Magna Cut, right? So it really, and I live in California, so I really don't need to do this because I really don't need to protect it that much. But what the heck? Since we're cleaning it, we might as well go all the way. So there we go. Almost like new. Looks pretty good. Okay, pretty cool. One last look to see how sharp I got it. Not super sharp by any means, but that's you know, sharp enough for wood's work. I'm sure there are folks out there that would have taken it to the extremes of clean and the extremes of edge sharpness, but I'm not that guy. So I just want my knives to cut, and it seems to cut pretty okay to me. So so yeah, if you've watched the entire thing, thank you for that. These knives are available now, so again, if you're a backpacker and you don't like big knives, you know, this is sort of the minimum size that I would recommend. It's maybe slightly longer because it's got the choil, but this is a really a good knife for those folks that are into backpacking and looking for a light knife. That is post-trip maintenance of the Tier 1 BC. If you've watched to this point, thank you for that. Hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching. If you're interested in getting one of these knives, again, I think this would make a superb backpacking knife. You can get them at YV Gear, DLT Trading, although I think DLT Trading only has the carbon fiber scales available for this knife. But there's a third site that you can also now get them at that I've just become aware of, and I will flash that on the screen.